Guys, I'm gonna try and make this video shorter than the previous one. That's my number one goal. Try and make this videos like short and compact so you guys can just watch it like while you're eating or something. Make it easy for you guys. So don't forget, make sure you keep your notes like this. Today's title is gonna be Identifying Matrices. That's gonna be the title for today. Now, I want you guys to start on your teacher section. We're gonna go over a couple notes. And then we're going to move right into the Carnegie assignment. So make sure on the side where it says teacher, you go ahead and put notes for this one. Because we're actually going to go over notes real quick. Now, matrices. First of all, do we understand matrices? Because we're going to be identifying them. So I'm going to write a random matrix. 3, 9, 6, 4, 2, 8, and 1, 3, 5. Alright, that's going to be my matrix. Let me see if I can make it a little better on the bottom. We said 1, 3, 5 on the bottom. 1, 3, and 5. There we go. And we close the matrix. Close the matrix. Now, I'm going to call this matrix A. That's going to be my matrix A. I have random numbers on there. It doesn't matter what numbers I have right there. It's just don't worry so much about that at this moment. Now, what we're going to have to worry about is the same thing that we cover in class. What is my diameter for this? How many rows? How many columns? So, what are my dimensions? So, it's always rows. And if you remember, rows always go horizontal. So, right now, I have 3 rows. I have 3. Now I just have to figure out how many columns I have. Those go down. So as you can see, I have 3 lines. So I'm actually, in this case, I have a 3 by 3. Now I'm gonna go back, just take out the lines real quick, and I'm gonna write the 3 by 3 on the bottom again. I have a 3 by 3. That's the first thing I want you guys to identify. We have a 3 by 3 matrix. Second thing is that they're going to ask you for elements. And I'm going to put elements, it's just the numbers that are inside. Elements are the numbers inside. Matrix. So you're gonna see this word used. Elements is literally this stuff, like your actual numbers are your elements. So in this case we have 9 elements, but whenever we're talking about matrices, this is a specific order in which you have to annotate them. In other words, write them down. So for example, and I'm gonna give you an example right here, they give you A and then they tell you 1 and 3. Okay, that's going to be a location. That's going to be an element. This equals to element inside of your matrix. Okay, that equals one of this. It's going to be one of the numbers. So I'm just going to highlight so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to be one of these numbers right here. 813, and that's how you're going to say it. 813 is going to be an element in here. And I'm going to show you how to identify that one, okay? So A is obviously, that's your matrix name, right? This right here is the matrix name. Now, let me put a different color because then y'all are going to get confused. So I'm going to change it to black. And I'm going to erase my lines. There we go. Erase the first line, erase the second line. Now, I'm going to underline this one with this one. That's what those two are, right? That's the name of my matrix. Now, the first one, it's going to be your rows. And the second one is going to be your column. Okay? So I'm going to have over here, I'm going to do two tiny different matrices just so you guys know. Alright, so matrix. And then that's the first location, and the second location is, just so you guys don't forget. this is rows, and this is columns. And I'm going to put R as rows and C as columns. Same thing here, R, C. Okay? So now, let's try and figure out what number are we talking about whenever I say A13. Whenever I say A13, you're going to notice that I'm going to go to, and I almost forgot. And it always goes in order. It goes 1, 2, and then this one's go 1, 2. Okay? So whenever you're doing rows, you go from the top to the bottom. And whenever you do columns, you do from left to right. Okay? Don't forget that. That was very important right here. Because it's going to tell us what row am I going to be looking at. Okay? So it says R1. So that means row number 1, I'm going to be looking at this guy's right here. Let me use the shading one. Thus. Right? It's telling me I'm going to be using my row number 1. And then it says column 3. Column 3 is going to be this one right here. So now, at this point, you just have to look at that number or the element that's under both lines. In this case, my element, the one that we're looking for, is going to be element 6. So, whenever they ask you for 813, that's actually going to be 6. It's going to be your answer. And that's it. That's all the notes that we're going to be taking. So make sure you go up, or I'm going to go up. You're just going to follow, put a line right below that one, all across. And that's where you're going to start your notes. So that was the very beginning. Now, I'm expect to finish the rest like in 5 minutes. So let's look at this. Let's read the problem. So the Flip Feet shoe store in your town just got a shipment of Phantoms, a top-selling running shoe. They're available in size 9 through 13, in which C, D, E, and double E. The manager of the store keeps track of the inventory according to the number of pairs of shoes in each size and width using the matrix shown. So we have a matrix right here. I'm just going to label a couple things. So make sure you write the matrix. You don't have to write the whole paragraph. Make sure you just write all of this. That's the first thing I want you guys to do. Write that down. And then I'm actually going to start putting stuff on the side. So this is width of shoe. So over here on the side. And over here on the top is going to be size of shoe. Okay. Now let's look at question C. It's saying determine the number that is in each location, meaning that we're looking for a specific element. Describe the meaning of the matrix element in terms of the problem in the situation. Okay. So we're gonna have to find a specific type of shoe. They want us to look at how many shoes we have, right? First of all, this right here is saying how many shoes they actually, how many pairs they have. That's the inside. On the outside, you have the width and the size of the shoe. Now, whenever we're writing our answers, we're going to put how many shoes we have and what type of shoe it is as well. So let's go ahead and try the first one. We are given, make sure, try and do it by yourself and see if you can do it. We're given A is equal to what? 3, 4. If you remember, this is rows and this is columns. So let me go up there. Let me look at all my stuff. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 for my rows, and my columns. I'm going to erase the shoe on the top, and I'm going to put my numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I already know I have a 4 by 5 in this case. But that's not very important. All I need to figure out is like whenever I have row 3, right? We're going to be over here in the row 3. We're going to be looking for column 4. Boom. there. So I did my rows first, right, where it's E. And I'm going to be writing the type of shoe that we're doing. We're doing E type of shoe. And what size are we looking at? We're looking at size 12. So whenever we're looking at this element, E is the width of the shoe, and the size is going to be 12. Now, how many pairs of those do we have? We have 7 pairs of those shoes. Okay, that's going to be our answer for the first one, right? This is the answer for this one right here. Now we have to do the next one. We have to do A for 5, and then we have to do A to 1. Now in this case, I'm gonna let you guys do it. I'm gonna give you a couple seconds, and then we'll go ahead and continue. So I'm gonna make it smaller so you guys can see, try and see everything here. Yes, right there. Like I said, try and do it yourself. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do both of them at once. Alright, at this point you should have at least tried and done it. Again, I'm gonna erase everything on the inside just because I wanna redo this whole thing. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my shader. Now, for the second one, I'm looking for row number 4. So we're looking for the double E's. And what size are we looking for? The first one. We're looking for size 9. So I'm already going to start putting my answer. Wait. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. My apologies. Actually, we're looking at 5. We're looking at 4. Row 4. And we're looking at 5. For my columns. So I'm actually looking at this one right here. I'm going to start writing my answer. So it's going to be a double E, and it's going to be a size 13. And how many of those do we have? We only have 2 of those new running shoes, the Phantoms. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the last one as well. You should have been able to do both of them. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's going to say we need column or row 2, so we're going to be looking at row 2, and then what column? Column 1 right here. So what shoe pops up? It's going to be my D, size 9. And how many of those do they have? They have 5 pairs of those, and that's going to be your answers for all of them. Okay, that's all you gotta do. Same thing. This is R and C. This is R and C, and I'm gonna put a line right there. Put a line right there, and those are gonna be my answers for the whole thing. I was gonna do more questions, but I think you guys get the point, right? You just have to look at the locations that your elements are in. All right, we were gonna do a couple more. If you want to do this question, the one I'm showing you guys, you're more than welcome to. I'll give you guys like 5 extra credit points if you're able to complete it. Now, if you don't do it, it's not going to count against you. But this is going to be extra credit if you guys want to do it or not. But this is where the video ends. That's all you have to see. Hopefully the next one's a little shorter. I'm trying to make them shorter and shorter and shorter so you guys don't waste so much time. Alright? So I'll see you guys next time.